Every age has its myths. In Spira, the greatest myth of all was Yu Yevon, the god who never was, the summoner whose dream became a prison. For 1,000 years, his will shaped the world, and even after his death, the shadow of his choices lingered on. This is not just the story of a final boss. It is the story of a man, a dream, a cycle of despair, and the courage it took to break free. Hello members of the channel. If you are seeing this video on the YouTube membership post or Patreon, then thank you very much for supporting this channel. My goal and vision for this YouTube channel is to tell stories from various gaming lore, with Final Fantasy being the heart of the content. If you saw this video, then your name will also appear on my other videos, giving you all a shout out. I hope you continue to support the channel as I make more video content that is exclusive. Some of these will also be members' choice. As more members and Patreons arrive, I will give you all the opportunity to vote on which exclusive lore video you would like to see me cover. Now, you may know that the most viewed video on this channel is the lore that I covered behind Yu Yevon, but this video will be a remake of sorts as we dig a little deeper. I made that video years ago, so that was when I was still jumping into YouTube. This one will be a bit different as I am a bit more familiar with making content, so I hope you all enjoy it. Now, let's dive deep into the lore behind Yu Yevon. 1,000 years before Final Fantasy X, two powers clashed: Bevelle, armed with Machina, and Zanarkand, the city of summoners. At the center was Yu Yevon, the High Summoner of Zanarkand. He was not a warlord or a conqueror. He was a father, a leader, and a man desperate to protect his city. When Bevelle's victory became inevitable, Yu Yevon chose not survival, but preservation. If Zanarkand could not exist in reality, it would exist in memory. Here we see the root of Yu Yevon's tragedy, the refusal to accept impermanence. Where Final Fantasy X celebrates letting go, Yu Yevon could not. His love became attachment, and his attachment became obsession. It appears that Yu Yevon's backstory was intentionally fragmented. The player discovers it through conversations with the Faith and Yunalesca, forcing us to piece him together as a figure half remembered by history, much like a myth. Yu Yevon transformed his people into Faith statues, bound to eternal dreaming. From their slumber, they summoned Dream Zanarkand, a phantom city frozen in time. This is the world of Tidus and Jet, a city of lights in Blitzball, never moving forward, never growing, never changing. As Bahamut's fate implores Tidus, we have been dreaming for so long, but now it is time to wake up. Dream Zanarkand is both beautiful and tragic. It represents nostalgia, the desire to preserve a perfect past, but like any dream, it is unsustainable. In clinging to it, Yu Yevon denied his people the chance to live, and instead bound them to endless suffering. One of the many themes of Final Fantasy X was accepting loss and moving forward. Dream Zanarkand embodies the opposite: Yu Yevon's refusal to accept loss. To shield his dream from discovery, Yu Yevon created Sin, a vast living armor of pyreflies. Sin destroyed cities, crushed Machina, and kept the world at bay. But in binding himself to this eternal summoning, Yu Yevon lost himself. His mind broke, his will dissolved. Yu Yevon, who crafts the souls of the dead into unholy armor, is an immortal parasite. Sin is not just a monster, it is the embodiment of trauma. For Spira, Sin is the manifestation of the past refusing to die, returning again and again to inflict suffering. Sin was designed to feel unknowable and unnatural, a living disaster rather than a character. Yu Yevon was the same, less man, more of a force, repeating the cycle blindly. Summoners like Yunalesca, Braska, and Yuna could defeat Sin through the final Aeon, but Yu Yevon's curse ensured this was never an ending. Each victory became a rebirth. The final Aeon would be possessed, transformed into a new Sin. This was the spiral of death, a cycle of sacrifice, temporary calm, and inevitable despair. There must be sacrifice. Without it, there is no salvation. But salvation was a lie. Every sacrifice only fed the parasite. The spiral of death reflects inherited trauma. Generations of summoners sacrificed themselves, believing they were saving Spira. In truth, they were only repeating Yu Yevon's wound, a cycle of despair passed down like a curse. Nojima drew inspiration from Buddhist cycles of samsara, endless rebirths of suffering until one breaks free. Tidus and Yuna's story is that break, enlightenment through courage and acceptance. Over time, Yu Yevon became not a man, but a god. The Yevon religion turned his cycle into law. Machina were forbidden, prayer was mandatory, sacrifice was glorified. The Maester of Yevons, however, knew the truth. They knew sin would always return, but they upheld the lie because despair was easier to control than hope. As Waka realizes when the illusion finally shatters, all those teachings, what were they for? They're lies. Here, Yu Yevon becomes a metaphor for blind tradition. His name, once a man's, becomes a tool to control people through fear. Spira bows not to the truth, but to the shadow of a summoner long dead. Yevon's faith was described as a critique of real-world institutions that use fear of punishment to control. Yu Yevon himself didn't choose this religion, but his shadow was enough to bind the world. When sin falls for the last time, Yu Yevon finally reveals himself. He's no god, no man, not even a villain, only a grotesque, insect-like creature endlessly casting summoning magic. The final battle is unwinnable in the usual sense. The party cannot die because Yu Yevon is already too weak. This ending is deliberate. Yu Yevon is not meant to be a climactic evil. He is a husk, the embodiment of obsession with no will left. The real battle was against the cycle itself. By the time Yu Yevon appears, the cycle has already broken. It has been explained that Yu Yevon's anticlimactic fight was intentional. The true climax was emotional. The sacrifice of Tidus, the breaking of the faith, and the courage to let go of the past. To end Yu Yevon, the faith are released. Dream Zanarkand disappears, Tidus fades. Spira is free. The spiral of death ends. This is the eternal calm. But the scars of Yu Yevon's cycle runs deep. 2 years later, in Final Fantasy X-2, Yu Yevon's shadow still lingers, not as a person, but as the legacy of his 1,000-year curse. The collapse of Yevon's religion leaves Spira divided. Machina resurface, long suppressed under Sin's reign, and factions like the Youth League and the New Yevon clash over how to rebuild. Even in death, Yu Yevon's choices shape the world. And then enter Shuyin. Like Yu Yevon, Shuyin clings to the past. Where Yu Yevon refused to let go of his city, Shuyin refuses to let go of his lover, Len. His rage becomes destructive, leading him to seek control of Vegnagun. Ten-2 makes Yu Yevon's tragedy universal. Trauma doesn't just vanish when the abuser dies. Cycles of obsession, grief, and revenge continue unless confronted. Yu Yevon may be gone, but the world must still heal from him. Toriyama described Ten-2 as a story about reconstruction. If 10 is about breaking cycles, Ten-2 is about learning to live without them. Yu Yevon's end was not enough. The people had to choose a new future. Stepping back, Yu Yevon's story is not one of malice. He loved his city, he wanted to preserve his people, but he refused to let go. And in refusing, he created a nightmare. His dream became Spira's prison, his name became a false god. His obsession became a curse passed down for generations. Yu Yevon is the complete and mirror opposite of Tidus. Where Tidus accepts impermanence, Yu Yevon clings. Where Tidus fades with peace, Yu Yevon lingers with suffering. Yu Yevon is not just a villain. He is a metaphor for obsession, tradition, and trauma. He shows us what happens when the past is never allowed to end. Final Fantasy X is about impermanence, it is about finding the courage to let go and the hope that comes after. Yu Yevon's tragedy is that he could not let go. He tried to preserve a dream forever, and in doing so, he created a nightmare that lasted 1,000 years. His shadow lingered even after his fall, but through courage, through sacrifice, and through acceptance, Spira finally found freedom. Yu Yevon was not a god, not a savior, not even truly alive. He was simply a man who dreamed too long. And that ends this deep dive into the true nature of Yu Yevon. Thank you once again for supporting the channel and becoming a member/Patreon. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and comment on what you thought about Yu Yevon or any theories you might have about him. Other than that, this is Enzo signing out, and that, as they say, is that.